If you've been looking for a way to elevate your Canva designs, a great place to start is the apps section. I'm going to show you 5 apps to help enhance your social media content. My name is Kat. This is Canva Catter Day. Let's get to it. The first app we're going to look at is called Activities Maker. Go over to the apps section, and right here at the top, I entered the search Activities Maker. Here is the icon. You're going to click on this, and it allows you to create a word search, a crossword, or even a maze. This is really fun for some audience engagement. You can choose from a list of preset words, or you could also type your own. You can also upload a file if you have that list in another type of document. I'm just going to use one of the preset words. How about if we do hobbies? And down here you have some additional settings for this. We can choose what we would like the answer key color to be. I'm just going to leave it as the default. You can also choose how many words you would like in that puzzle, the number of rows and columns, and the direction you would like those words to flow. Then you'll click Generate, and Canva will give you your puzzle. Here you can see the list of the words it used. We have our puzzle, and we have our answer key. If we zoom in, you can see that all of those words are highlighted in the answer key. If you decide you want to change it, you can just go back to any one of these settings and create a brand new puzzle. Let's try a crossword. I will use a different category this time. Let's use colors. And I want to change this to maybe 16 words, and I will click Generate. Canva once again gives us our puzzle. It gives us a list of our puzzle words. It gives the puzzle itself, and it gives the answer key. So here is our list of words. If you want to adjust this, you can change the font size. So this one says 24. I can maybe change it down to 21, and I can adjust this one as well. Over here in our answer key, we can adjust the color that we would like the answer key to be. It's black right now. I'll click on that color, and then I can just change it to any other color, and you can see the letters change to that color. Just a fun way to add some interaction to your social media content with the use of this Activities Maker. Calendar Maker is a really quick and easy way to generate a calendar inside of Canva. Just search for Calendar Maker in the Apps section, click on the icon, and then you can decide how you want that calendar to look. By default, it's going to go by month, so I'm just going to leave it here at the default month. You can change the day of the week that you would like to start. You can adjust your font size. I'll just leave it at the default for now. Style is bold. You can choose the alignment. Right now it says shortened labels, so that means it's going to abbreviate the days. I'm going to uncheck that because I want the full name of the dates. Down here under numbers, you can also adjust that font. So you can have a different font for the title of the words as well as for the numbers themselves. And then you can also decide what color you want the background of that calendar to look like. I'm going to leave the defaults for now so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll show you how to adjust it. So we're going to click Add to Design. Here is our calendar. You can see it added my days and it added all of the numbers within my calendar. This created a spreadsheet for me. So this is adjustable. I can adjust the height of the rows by dragging up or down. I can adjust the calendar size itself and make it longer or shorter. Let's bring this one over here. Now I have these dates right here, but they're in the middle of my calendar and I really don't want them that way. Well, you can adjust that. So I'm just going to highlight each of these dates. And then I'm going to go over here to my alignment section. First thing I want to do is make them right aligned so that my numbers show up here on the right side. And then I want to adjust the alignment of the letters themselves as far as how they flow within my calendar. Right now they're centered. I want them at the top. So if I click on vertical, you can see that the rows that I highlighted here now have those calendar numbers at the top, whereas the other ones that I didn't change are still in the center. And you can move those around any way that you would like. If you want to change the color of the rows, you can do that as well. You're just going to highlight on that row color, go up here to the color swatch, and then pick any other color that you would like it to be. So let's say I want to choose my brand colors. I've got that right there. And then I can highlight the rest of my rows, and maybe I want to bring those a slightly different color. So I can change that color here by highlighting as well. And now I've adjusted those rows also. If you go back over to the calendar maker, you can choose how you want the alignment to be at the very beginning. For instance, it initially aligned my letters to be at the top and center, whereas my numbers were automatically aligned on my centered as well. I can change that at the very beginning by just clicking on these little swatches here, and it will generate my next calendar with those number alignments. So if I click Add to Design, you can see that now my numbers are aligned on the right side. At the moment, it doesn't allow you to change the vertical alignment within this box right here. But as I mentioned, you can just highlight any of those boxes and change the vertical alignment right here and adjust that. It's a very, very easy fix. But it's a really fun way to create yourself a little calendar that you can share, print off, or even use on your social media content. If you need some color inspiration or you want to create a color palette, then the app you'll want to use is called Get Palette. I'm going to click on this app and it will generate a color palette from any photo. You can upload your photo or you can use one of Canva's photo library images. Then you'll just click Color Palette and it will give you a list of 6 color options. It even gives you the hex codes, which I think is really, really helpful. Then you'll click Add to Design and it will generate that color palette for you. I think this is pretty neat. Now, Canva itself does give you the option to pull colors from a photo on its own. So let's see how that version compares to this Get Palette version. I'm going to go over and I'm going to create a grid so that it looks very similar to the one that we have from the app. There's a grid right here. Click on the first color. And I'm going to click on the color box, and you can see that Canva gives us the option to pull colors from that photo. This is something that's already built into Canva. So I'm just going to fill each square with these color options, and we'll see how it compares side by side. And this last box, I'll just make white. I think those are pretty close. Why are the colors a little bit different? You'll notice that over here in the generated version, it gave me sort of 2 versions of this brown color and this slightly more muted blue color. Well, that's because it's probably pulling from different parts of the photo. As far as Canva is concerned, it pulls from what it thinks is going to be the best color combination. If you're over here in the color palette generator app, you can adjust these colors if you want to. So for instance, if I don't really like this brown color right here, I can just click on this and then I can adjust that color simply by going over and clicking on my little color option here, clicking on my eyedropper, and then pulling another color. For instance, if I want to pull maybe this pink color that Canva pulled in for me, I can do that and it will change those colors. So it's not wrong, it's just pulling in different color options from those different parts of the photo. Either option works, but this is just a really fun way to quickly get a color palette generated for you in just one click. If you want to create a shape from one of your photos, you can use the app called Clipping Mask. Search for Clipping Mask in the app section and then click on it, and it will tell you that it can create a mask from your photo. You can upload a photo or you can use one of Canva's photos. I already have this photo highlighted, so I will then click Start Masking. It gives you some shapes to choose from. Let's click on this butterfly, and you can see a preview of what it will look like. You can move the shape around to different parts of the photo, so you can highlight certain parts. You can also resize it to make it a little bit larger and place it into position. Once you have it how you would like it, you're going to click where it says Add to Design, and it will create that shape for you. Let me move this out of the way. And here is that clipping mask. What's really great about this option is that it treats it like a photo, so you can add additional photo effects to it as well. So if I go over here to edit, I can maybe give it a drop shadow. I'm going to click on drop shadows right here. And now my design has a fun drop shadow. You can maybe even do an outline. So I can click on outline and I'll change that size a little bit, and maybe I'll change the outline color, bring it to like a red. And here you go. I now have that outline in red for this photo. So any of the regular photo editing tools that you could normally use in Canva, you can also use with this clipping mask image as well. There are many apps in Canva that will allow you to place an image inside of text. One that I happen to like is called TypeCutOut. So go to the app section and look for TypeCutOut. You'll see a preview of what the image will look like. You can enter whatever text that you would like. So I'm going to type beach, please. You can adjust the alignment right here under alignment. You can also adjust the line height and spacing if you have multiple lines. Here are your font choices. You can scroll from this large list of fonts. I'm going to leave it at the default for right now. And you can also see what it looks like on a light or a dark background by clicking on the sun icon in the top corner. There's light and there's dark. This is the default image. I want to change it to my beach image. So just go here to this little icon where it says change image and click on it. And now I can use my selected image. You'll see the preview right here in the window. You can adjust the positioning. So maybe I want to bring this down just a little bit. I can just drag it down just a little. So maybe we see a bit more of that palm tree. I can also rotate it if I want, or I can scale it and enhance it by bringing it up or down like this. I'm just going to leave it at 1. Once you have it the way you like it, you're just going to click where it says add to design. Move this out of my way, and there you go. You now have your image inside of those letters. Because this is an image itself, you can also do some editing here as well. Click on edit, and you can add some additional enhancements. Maybe you want to adjust the color, the vibrance, or those types of settings. You can also add a drop shadow, which I think is a kind of a fun effect. So click on shadows. I can do a drop shadow. I can also give it an outline and adjust the size or the intensity of your outline. You can give it a glow. Pretty much any of the type of photo editing options that you can use within Canva, you can use with this as well, because it does treat it as a photo. It's a really fun way to add some extra design elements to your content. There's one other thing I want to show you with this that I think is a really cool feature. I'm going to go back up here to my image. I'm going to bring it and I'm going to make this the whole width of my page. And then I'm going to go back to TypeCutOut. I want to change my image and use this selected image because the other one was a little smaller. So I'm going to say use image. It's going to default it back to its regular position, and I'm going to leave it right there for now. I'm not going to change any of the fonts or the alignments, and I'm going to add it to my design. You can see it placed it right there. But now I'm going to take this and I'm going to enlarge this so that it matches the size of my background image. And you can see how it sort of disappeared. That's because it's the exact same size as my background image. But a fun little effect that you can do with this is to now click on that background image and bring the transparency down to give it a really fun effect. So I'm going to click on transparency. I'm going to drag down my slider. And now you can see that I have the foreground image is my beach and the background image is the rest of it, but it's kind of faded into the background. And if you want to enhance a little bit more, maybe I want to just make it pop just a bit. I'm going to go back to edit and let's bring the vibrance up just a little bit. Over here to vibrance and a little more saturation. And now it really makes those letters pop on that background. This is a really fun feature and a really cool effect that you can use on some of your Canva content. So there you have 5 different apps that you can use for your social media designs. I can't wait to see what you create next. If this was helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this in the future. That's all for this week. I'll see you next time.